That dead guy. That dead guy. That dead guy.
Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's November the 1st, 2025, which means once again it's time for Stamp of the Month. Every month I do a video series about a stamp, a series of stamps, a theme about stamps, a topic about stamps, and we attach a giveaway to it. So lucky enough for me that I have a Liverpool Stamps in England that helps backing by providing a discount for anyone who's shopping on their website. So if you go to www.liverpoolstamps.co.uk and you put in the code TDG20, you'll get 20% off your order, you'll get a free penny red, and you'll get a corresponding gift that goes with that particular Stamp of the Month's theme. And I've also got a bunch of people that watch this channel that are super generous and provide me with lots of stamps and stamp-related things to use for the giveaway. So I'll show you that at the end, what we're going to be giving away. And because the giveaway doesn't actually happen till the end of the month, there are always people that continue to send stamps in that go with that theme, and the prize package keeps building right up until the end of the month. And I happen to get to a stamp show or something or other along the way, I'll find a few things too to be adding in as well. So that's how it grows from a little bit of a giveaway to quite a large giveaway by the end of the month. So stay tuned. I'll show you what I have so far for this giveaway. Now, make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, you put the notification bell on, and you hype the videos as much as you can. If you put in the comment in this video, it gives you a chance to win. Now, what I want to see in that comment is a key word that I'll be giving you throughout this video. Well, I give it to you once in this video, so you have to pay attention. And then put that word in the comment field, and you'll get a chance to win this great prize pack. All right, so what are we talking about today? I thought we'd talk about the 1901 Pan American Exposition. And now you're saying, what does that have to do with stamps? Okay, hold on. Bear with me. Let's just talk about it first. So the 1901 Pan American Exhibition, which is kind of like a World's Fair, was originally going to be in Niagara Falls. And then they decided, we're going to move it to Buffalo, because Buffalo at the time was the 8th largest city in the United States. It was also a train hub, so it was easy to get in and out of Buffalo and get lots of people there too. Within 40 million people within a day's ride of that. So they thought that'd be a perfect place for the Pan American Exhibition. It's going to be held in Delaware Park, a 350-acre park. It was held there. Tickets were 50 cents each. They look like this. They kind of look like stamps. In today's dollars, that would be about $19 a ticket. What was really interesting about it was the fair was illuminated at night, thanks to Thomas Edison Incorporated. They trucked power in from Niagara Falls, 40 kilometers away, and they had lights, not lanterns, lights at this Pan American exhibition. What else do we have? 8 million people attended. It was attended by governors, senators, and even a president, and the vice president. But we'll get to that in a minute. So what did they have on display at the Pan American Games? Well, they had all sorts of art. That's one of the things they had, illustrating art and culture throughout the Americas. And that's why it was the Pan American Exhibition. It went from the tip of North America, whether it be Canada, Alaska, all the way down to Argentina and Peru, right to the end. All were represented, or most represented, their culture, their artwork there. They also had indigenous tribes that came and showed off their culture and heritage. One of the things that was first on display for people there was a dark ride, the very first dark ride. So if you're one of those people that likes to go to amusement parks, whether it be a state fair or a local fair that comes to your town, and they have one of those dark rides to go in and on a train going through getting spooked out. Well, the very first one was here in 1901 in Buffalo. That one now is in Coney Island, New York, if you wanted to go see it. One of the things that they were going to have was a roller coaster that had a loop in it. The very first roller coaster with a loop was going to be on display in 1901, but the event promoters thought that it was too dangerous, so they didn't. The other thing that was first on display as an invention was the X-ray machine. Could have came in handy later, and I'll get to that in a minute. What else do they have? Oh yeah, the New York State Building. That's the last building that's still standing from the 1901 exhibition. It is now a museum, a beautiful building. There were a lot of beautiful buildings at the time. It's a shame that that's the only one that's still standing. So I've alluded to it a couple times. Although there were these great things on display in 1901, the exhibition was kind of marred because it ran from May 1st to November the 2nd. But on September the 6th, President William McKinley came to visit the exhibition. He went to the Temple of Music to see some performers and was assassinated. So that's what they remember for it. One of the things they could have used was that newfangled X-ray machine to find out where the bullets are. But they weren't sure what the lasting repercussions might be from using it, so they decided not to. They used other methods, and unfortunately, 7 or 8 days later, he died of his wounds because infection had set in, and that was it. But maybe had they used the X-ray machine, they could have pulled those bullets out, and he may have lived. Who knows? We'll never know at this point in time. So you're saying, well, why are you telling us all this? What does that have to do with stamps? Well, the very first automobile on a postage stamp came out in 1901 as a result of the Pan American exhibition. It was an electric vehicle. It was an electric taxi cab, to be exact. Well, they called it an electric service vehicle at the time. The image was based on a poster of the Century, Baltimore, and Ohio railroads. The taxi was passing in front of the Capitol building, carrying 2 drivers, and inside Mr. Samuel P. Hedge, or Hegg, H-E-G-E. Well, it was the first U.S. stamp to picture someone on it who was still alive at the time of issuing. That was kind of against regulations. Now, if you look at the stamp, it's really hard to picture, one, that there's a person inside that carriage, and 2, who that person might be. But because it was on a poster before, because the image was taken from there, they knew that it was a real-life person that was alive at the time of issue. It went against the code of U.S. postage stamps to do so, and so therefore it was a first. It was also the first commemorative stamps issued for the U.S. in the 20th century. It was a set of 6 stamps for the Pan American exhibition. So 6 other stamps. This one was a 4-cent stamp, Scott number 296, coming out in 1901. So that is the very first automobile on a postage stamp, and it was an electric automobile, which, as you watch this channel, I have an electric car, and so I have a little soft spot for them. But was it the first car? Well, no, it wasn't the first car. The first car, they say, came out during medieval times. Now, it wouldn't have been something that was super active at the time. It was a concept, maybe didn't even have people. It was an automobile that was designed at the time. But there was one that came out in 1649 that was also a clockwork-driven carriage. Or in 1769, a steam-powered vehicle came. But the very first modern, as we would say, car that came out in 1888, mass-produced in 1888 by Benz, which patented in 1886. It was developed in 1885, but it was mass-produced for the population. It was a 3-wheeled gas-powered vehicle by Benz, which later became Mercedes-Benz when it merged. It had a top speed of 16 kilometers an hour or 10 miles per hour. So not super fast, but it did come out. But if you want to know the first postage stamp, go to 1901, US 296. That was the first postage stamp that showed an automobile on it. So if you haven't guessed by now, that is our theme this month. And so I have a bunch of things to give away. Because you're watching not only a stamp of the month, but you're watching a giveaway. Every month we do this. And I've got some things that came in that I want to show you already that will be part of the giveaway. I say part of because I know between now and the end of the month, which is the time frame you have to write the keyword in the comment field of this video and this video alone, we will have other items that will come in that will be a part of the giveaway. So I'm going to show you a start of what you have a chance to win. And if you listen carefully, you might even find out what that keyword is. First, we have this design set, 100 Years of Ford in Australia. And a nice souvenir first day cover. And a souvenir sheet. We've got a vintage postcard. We've got some stamps from Poland, a full sheet there. We've also got maxi cards of those stamps for the 100 Years of Ford in Australia. We've got this Polish card. And this Russian one. How about this beautiful stamp from Turkey? And then a variety of stamps from countries all around the world, mint and used. Great sizes there. We scale through all of these. Nice Monaco ones. How about this one from Finland? Does it look familiar? Well, of course, that was in the Welcome Back Smoky Black and White Edition video that we did. So you might recognize that one. So many cars, trucks, motorcycles. This one here, the vintage. And then for those of you that are into postcards, there's also buses or transportation and cars. Some of these are used postcards, some of them are not. I really like this one here, it's really nice, the horse-drawn carriage. And then we've got a piece of artwork too. So all of this will be in the giveaway. Plus, stay tuned, there will be more. Now that you've seen what I have already in the giveaway, which thank you so much to Liverpool Stamps for what they sent, and from Steve in Australia from what he sent too. It's great. And there was a few other items that I've added in too that I've collected as well. But I think I might be able to find some more too, so I'm excited about that. If you want to win though, you got to put in a word. What's that word? It's going to be electric. You were thinking automobile, you were thinking car. We're going to go with electric because it's kind of an electric feel to it. When you talk about electricity with Thomas Edison and the Exposition, the stamp, which was an electric car, let's go with electric. I've said it enough times, you've heard it enough times, rate that in the comment field, and then at the end of November, you might be the one that I'll be spinning the wheel, and your name or moniker for YouTube will come up, and you might be the winner. That's all you gotta do. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?